Hey everybody, this is Eric Clark's Travel Videos, and I'm in Nîmes, France, and behind me is Maison-Carrée, and I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but it's a temple, a Roman temple from, 2,000 years ago. Let's take a look. It's pretty amazing. Look at that. That is incredible. Wow, wow, wow. Shut the door. And I think they said it's the only fully intact temple left or something. I don't know for sure, but I thought I read that somewhere, and you know how that goes. Every place has a different take on what you consider a completed temple, but this one looks amazing. Wow. That is incredible. Wow, wow. Look at that. Wow. Incredible. You can catch the sun right in between the cracks there. It's kind of nice. And this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'll show you. I'm saying it the way it looks to me. La Maison-Carrée in Nîmes. I don't know the right way to say it, but that looks pretty good. Wow. Get out of here. And imagine this could have been Zeus's temple or somebody else's temple, or I mean, gosh. I'll even let you. La Maison-Carrée, and a cult of the emperor and his family started at the beginning of the empire. An inscription dedicated to the temple of the emperor Augustus, grandson and adopted sons, the Prince of Youth. Wow. Get out of here. It's hard to see this. The sun's in my eyes, so I can't tell. I think it's focused, and I think you're getting it all. But wow. Wow, wow. And the whole area is just protecting it, so it's pretty cool. Wow. Wow, wow. All right. Well, let's go inside. Hey. And I think you can go inside. You just need a ticket, but look at the columns, and some of them look like they're pretty intact, and some of them look like they're a little weathered or broken or abused or what have you. But all right, let me get my glasses off. Wow. That's amazing. And the big doors. All right, I'll be back. All right, everybody. So this is the inside of what a temple would look like. And it's just a big wide open space. The ceiling's all supported and everything else. And it is incredible. Le Culte Imperial. And I'm sure there were statues and things in here, and maybe this is how it used to look back in the old days. Can you see it? So it had a ground around it. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Wow. look, it would have been surrounded by a courtyard with pillars all the way around the whole entire courtyard. And the only way in would have been this entryway right here. Wow. Get out of here. That's incredible. Wow. And here's it again. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, well, let me get back to the beginning, and I'll see if I can get you all the text for it. I just can't get over the courtyard that surrounds the whole thing too, you know? Man. Okay, let's get back over here. And this is a UNESCO site. Recenter my camera. Here you go. So hit pause if you want to read that. The Maison-Carrée de Nismes was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in the world. Okay. And this is, you're at the heart of the Roman Empire. Hit pause. The Gaelic people of Celtic origin territory, 4th century BC. In the 2nd century BC, when the Romans entered, wow, that's pretty incredible. Wow, wow. Wow. So let's see if I can get that right for you. Hit pause if you want to read that too. Maison-Carrée is one of the few surviving Roman temples. It was built between the last year of the 1st century BC and the first year of the 1st century AD. The temple is dedicated to, okay, the grandsons of Augustus. Wow. Oh, I guess those were his grandsons. Amazing. Oh, look at that. Huh. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Hit pause if you want to read that all. Maison-Carrée, a masterpiece of Roman architecture. Oh, it is. Wow. Man. Can you read all that? Here, let me see if I can pay attention and stop reading. Wow. All right. There's people over there, so I just can't get past this thing. That is just silly amazing. Wow. Lord, that's not English. That's not. Is this English? One thing. Yes. Here we go. You know, you gotta read it for a second to figure out where the English part is. Okay. Prayer, gross memory, dialogue between these two architectures that are more than 2,000 years apart. Amazing. Hit pause. It required more than 44,000 hours of work by numerous craftspeople, stonesmasons, and restorers. The Maison-Carrée can now be approached its third millennium without fear. Wow. Let's see, there we go. The Temple of Nimes is survived thanks to continuous use of over the centuries after the fall of the Roman Empire. The barbarian invasion of the Roman cities retreated behind the pause. Wow. And so if you bought tickets, you could go in and see the museum. And so these are all the things that were in here, I guess. From your museum, look at that. Statues and everything else, that's pretty amazing. Wow. Wow. How amazing is this? And there's so much more that I can share, but there's just, I think you're going to be overwhelmed. Hit pause again. Oh, and these are the things that were taken off that were on top of the church. Oh, and the statues. And I think that's these things here. Wow. Wow, and look at that. Everything is just so intact and so amazing. Jiminy crickets. The Nimes and the Maison-Carrée is one of the oldest and best preserved examples of Roman temple dedicated to the dynastic Imperial cult and undoubtedly a monument of remarkable architecture. Blah. Wow, wow, wow. All right, everybody. Just simply amazing. Huh. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go back outside and look at it some more. It's pretty amazing. Wow. Just incredible. Wow. Pretty steep stairs. So you have to imagine that building that used to be here probably went all the way down to the end of that street. You know what I mean? And then surrounded this, because this is the entryway. So based on that little mock-up thing they had, it went all the way down there. So these buildings are sitting on top of the big courtyard. But imagine how much of this city. I mean, they have an arena, an amphitheater thing. They have, man, shut the door. That is truly incredible. Wow. I'm walking backwards and trying not to bust my butt. Wow. All right. Okay, so you see these things? These used to be those pillars that made up that courtyard. See this one here too? And those things above the ground there? So those used to be pillars, like these pillars, but higher, and then surrounded the entire courtyard. Man. Wow, wow, wow. Golly jeepers. How often do you get to see something like this? You got to go out of your way to get here to see these things, but you know what? It's worth every bit of it. You know, I always tell myself that if I were to win the lottery, I'd build one of these and make a house out of it in the middle, but wow. Just amazing, everybody. All right, I keep telling you I'm going to stop, but I don't want to stop. I just want to keep filling. Can you imagine? So they've got lights all the way around it. Can you imagine this at night, all lit up? Oh my gosh. It would be incredible. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I know, I'll stop. Okay, okay. Breather. Amazing, everybody. All right, bye.